Hello, this is librarian Jennifer Bone, and in this short video, I'm going to show you how to use some of the SWIC library resources to find resources that will help you complete your multimedia project, which is an infographic. To get to the SWIC library homepage, you can go to swic.edu, and then from the main page of the college, you can hover over Community and click Library from the drop-down list, or Student Services and click Library. Once you land on this page, just scroll down underneath the picture and look for the blue rectangle. In this box is all the resources that the library has access to that can help you find information. We have an article tab, a books and movies tab, and a find facts tab. And this is what we're going to start with today. We're going to look up one of the social theories that might support the questions that you get to choose from. I'm going to look up the social theory of functionalism. After typing your topic in the box, go ahead and click Go. You will be prompted to type in your SWIC eStorm information, which is your student ID number and your password. On the next screen, just click Accept, and then you will land on a results page that looks just like this one. You'll see that on the left-hand side, it's showing you definitions from various encyclopedias and almanacs about the term that you looked up. I can see the first one's coming from international relations. The second term is being defined in relation to psychology. And as I scroll down, here's one from nursing theory. And as I get down to the sixth one, this is coming from the Dictionary of Sociology. Since this is a sociology class, how they defined functionalism would be a great way to carry over into your own infographic if you need to have some sort of supportive information about that topic. You can click directly on the term, and then when it appears, you'll see that you can read through it. If you like it, you can take it with you using the links at the top of the article. You can either click Save to print, download, or save to the cloud. You can click Share to email or copy a link and get back to this resource, or if you needed to embed it to somewhere, they give that link as well. Now, all library resources write your citation for you, so located next to that is going to be the citation button. You'll see all of the different formats are presented. You would select the one that you're going to use. Here's the one for APA, and then you can copy it and paste it. Now, please note there's no hanging indent, which means it's indented over a little bit. So those are things that you would want to address when you're editing your works cited page or your references page, so you can have it proper, but it's all the pieces that will be helpful to kind of put that together for you. So you can always come in here, change the topic that you're looking for at the top of the screen. If you go back to the main page, you'll also see that there is a concept map over on the right. So if you wanted to look up any terms related to functionalism, you can easily click on those terms and it'll put that term in the middle, and then you have a whole new group of things that you can look at. So that is the Find Facts tab. The next thing we want to do is if we go to the Articles tab, we can see that there are 3 research databases that you can look for articles inside. So think of these as shopping malls filled with articles and nothing else. The one that I like to show in class and show to sociology students is the one called Opposing Viewpoints. You don't even need to put anything in the box. You can just click Go. Once you land on the page, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it a little bit more clearly in the video. You do have a search box at the top, but I think the most interesting place to go to look at social issues in here is by coming down to the bottom of the page where they have 9 tiles, and you'll see that they have a dark heading at the top, and those are going to be the different subject areas, and the number represents how many of those social issues are addressed in that area. So you can click on one of these tiles if you know you have an interest in them. I like to start in the big blue tile and look at the complete list in alphabetical order. Once you click on that, you can come to this page, and you can select one of these topics and look at their portal page. I'm going to select poverty, and it's going to bring up this page. And what I like about this next page is it gives you a nice introduction to this particular social issue. So if I wanted to get more details about poverty, or if I wanted to get some statistics, I can see that there's an introductory paragraph, but I can click Read Overview, and then this is going to give me a really nice look at poverty, and you'll also see that the statistics mentioned in this write-up are from 2024. So it has a lot of recent statistics that you can use. If you would want to use this as a source to support some of the things that you're creating in your infographic, please know at the top of the page you can save it to the cloud. You can also email it, download it, or print, and those tools are also at the very top. It does have the citation button, so you can click on Cite, select your format, and then you can select it and paste it wherever you'd like. You can do the copy and paste it wherever you like. So know that that is there. On the right-hand side, they will say, here are more articles like this one, and you can kind of click on any of these. They show the different sections of this particular page. So they're looking at the causes and contributing factors and impact on children that poverty has, the demographics of poverty, and programs and initiatives. So if these are things that you'd like to address on your infographic, you can get a little bit of a nutshell on all of these areas just right from the starter page. If we go back to the portal page, you'll see that there are also related topics mentioned here below, and you can scroll through them. If you want to address any of these issues, they will take you to a whole page on any of those topics. If you want to search in depth about poverty, you'll see in this navy blue bar, I can search within the results. If I wanted to look at women that are in poverty, I can search the term women, and I can click the little magnifying glass, and then all of these articles will talk about, in these areas, will talk about women in relation to poverty. So know that that is a way that you can break it down. If I go back to this page, I can see this gray ribbon here. This is called the dashboard. And so if I needed to find articles from a newspaper, I can click on this news link. If I wanted to look at some infographics that were already put together, I can click on that. If I want magazine articles, I can click here. There are some statistics as well. If I needed to find a peer-reviewed article, you would click on the academic journals. And I know one of the requirements is to use a peer-reviewed piece of information. So I can get to the academic journals section. There's over 3,000. They even have a checkbox where they will double check and make sure it's peer-reviewed. In this resource, almost all of them remain peer-reviewed in this section. So I didn't lose any by adding that limit. And if I wanted to narrow down within this grouping, I can do search within. And if I wanted to look at academic journals that articles that deal with poverty and maybe oral hygiene, I can type that in over on the right. I can even narrow down by children. If I wanted to kind of focus on that, I can do search within and narrow down by children. And every time I add a term, you'll see that at the very top of the page, it narrows it down to now I have 19 academic journals that are fitting my criteria. To read any of them, you click on the title, and all of those tools are at the top of the article as well as at the top of the page. So it's quick, it's easy, and it's free. And as you're looking at your articles, don't forget to look on the right-hand side for things that also relate to the same particular article. So this is how you can use opposing viewpoints. If you go back to the front page, I'm going to show you how to use JSTOR. This is another research database. You can type in either a social issue depending on how you're creating your infographic. I looked at the question of how do people learn to be part of society, and I typed in socialization. And so this is going to bring us a whole bunch of resources. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger so you can see what they look like. There's 795,000 items. You'll see that there are journals, book chapters, and research reports. I'm going to make it so that I only find articles that are fairly recent. So I can go to this date dropdown. I can do 2015 to 2025. I can hit apply. That's going to narrow things down for me quite a bit. And then I can come up here and say, do I want journal articles or book chapters? I can narrow using that. And then I can also go down to the subject area. And if I just want articles that relate to psychology, and I can see there are some here for agriculture, I can alphabetically come down over here and find the sociology section and check that box for those 25,000 articles. So I can see all of them are appearing for me. So I see all the limiters that I've set right here at the top. If I want to read any of these, I can click on the title. I can click download. And then there's also the citation button right here where I can see my citation style. I can pick it and copy and paste it. If I click on the title, it'll let me preview it right here. And then on the left side, a lot of times they have related texts where they say, oh, I see what you're looking at here. This might be helpful as well. So keep that in mind to kind of look at the things that are on the page. They're not advertisements at all. They're actually helpful tools or additional resources that could be really great to use. This resource does not have an email button, so if you want to email it to yourself, know that you'll need to download it, save it on whatever device you're on, and then you can email it to yourself that way. Another resource that we have is one called EBSCO, and in EBSCO I use the example of looking up homeless or unhoused. Those are two terms that you can use. So I'm just going to put both terms in, and the article could have this one or it could have this unhoused term. I can click on the go button and it will bring up some articles. I can see that I have 58,000 articles that come up for me. One thing that we have in here is that you can go to the top box and you can click on Academic Search Ultimate. We have a lot of different collections in here. We initially have you only starting with 3. You can click Select All, click Select, and then you'll see you'll get a whole bunch of articles and books that are online and available. So you can see you can access now right here. If I want to go back, I can unselect them and go back to the initial 3 that I had. So know that you have the ability to do that. To look for peer-reviewed items, I can click on this tile that says peer-reviewed. If I want to make sure that the article is attached, I can click full text. And if I want to make sure it's fairly recent, I can do the past 10 years with the tile right there. And then once I see the articles, I can see where it and when it was written. If I want to access it, I can just click on the PDF. Once it opens up, the tools are at the top to create the citation, to share it, to download it, to print it. All of those tools are there to use. The share button will allow you to share it to the cloud or grab a link, or you can email it to your personal email or your school email. So it's free and it's always available, so know that you can come in here and research at 2 in the morning if you like. If you ever want to get a book, whether it's online or in person at the library, the last tab is Books and Movies. In here, you can type in poverty, click go. If I want it to be a fairly recent book, I can go on the left-hand side, and before I even start looking at these books, I can select my date published. I can do from 2020 to 2025. I can hit refine, and then I'm going to get all of these resources that have been recently published that relate to poverty. And books are a great resource. You would never want to read the entire book, but sometimes it might have a great chapter or a great couple of paragraphs that could really add some good depth to your paper. If you want to make sure you get a paper that's on the shelf, you can click Select My Campus and select the campus you live closest to, but know that there are a lot of online books available for you to read as well. If you have any questions or want help finding some sources that help you with your infographic, please don't hesitate to reach out. Go to the Contact Us link underneath the picture. You'll see an email and a phone number from me. I'm Jennifer Bone, and you'll see one for my better half, the other librarian at the Belleville campus, Samantha Rogers, and there's her contact information. We would love to help you. If you live closer to Granite, please reach out to Terry Terranova. We'd love to make you the rockstar researchers that we know you are. Good luck, and we hope to see you soon.